The thoughts, views, and opinions are that of my own. I'm not a salesman. I cannot be bought. This is all entertainment. Y'all know what time it is. Y'all know the vibes. Peace, 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 and more peace. This is your homeboy EQ coming straight out of Prince George's County, Maryland. That is Pretty Girl County. Let me see what's going on with this thing so I can see the comments. StreamYard's been tripping, man. My music, they got it coming up choppy, but we're going to go ahead and do it. We're going to pay the bills, and we're going to have a good time. Y'all know the vibes. What's your sin of the days? Put it in the chat. I wish I had my music. Y'all know I'll be getting it hype with the music, but listen, it is what it is. I messaged StreamYard and asked them, what's the deal? What's going on with that? So they said they're going to get it right. They're going to look into it, and hopefully by next show, it'll be done. My drink of choice for the night, big bottle, Macallan's 12. We can go ahead and sip that on. Nothing. Today's topic is going to be 10 sexy tobacco fragrances for 2023. Again, these are my top 10. Listen, disclaimer, everything is never going to make the list. There's only 10 fragrances, 10 recommendations. If your favorite fragrance isn't on here, it's okay. You'll be fine. If you feel the need to be like, well, what about this? What about that? What about it? Rather, I own it and I didn't want to put it on this list. It's only 10, or I don't own it and don't have it, so it can't make my list if I don't have it. Or 3, I've sold it and I have no desire to own it. Don't take offense to it. This is my list. Your list is your list. Again, these are recommendations. Take it or leave it. I mean, it's just a kind of a place to have your tobacco fragrances if you like wearing tobacco fragrances. To me, I find tobacco fragrances to be, they can go in many different directions. They can be woody. They can be smoky. You can wear them for nights out. You can wear them in the daytime. I'm going to have a little bit of variety here. I'm going to have a couple of honorable mentions. Probably like 3 honorable mentions I'm going to go ahead and talk about. And then we'll get, this is a tough list. Again, it's only 10. Everything's not going to make the list. With that being said, we're going to get into it. Peace, peace, peace. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate the super chat. Where's that fragrance? Okay, it's right here. I got it right here. So I'm going to put that to the side. Tobacco fragrances. Let's talk about it. Again, formal, informal, nights out. You're going to smoke some tobacco. You're going to smoke a cigar. You're going to have a drink. Many times I've talked to you all about having, pairing your fragrances with the environment. I think I did a whole video on that. If not, I need to do that. Because when you want to maximize rather your compliments, if that's what you seek, if you want to maximize your wearing experience, if you want to maximize the wearing experience from those people who are going to be around you, you have to, or you should, pair your fragrances in every environment you're in. Summertime, you're near the beach. I like to go to aquatics, white florals, oceanic scents. I find oceanic and aquatics to be different. It could be marine. Depending on where I'm at, I can go with some coconut, some bright if I'm on a beach. But if I'm in a cigar lounge, if I'm going to be at a steak dinner, having a red wine and going to be on a date, I think there's fragrances for that. Or if you're just going to be out and about outside at a fire pit, or you're just going to be running around with your sweater, with your sweatshirt, with your scarf, I think tobacco fragrances are extremely sexy. I think woody fragrances in this time of year, autumn and winter, are extremely sexy. So before we get into that, I'm going to bring on a special guest. Why? Because he has something he wants to bring. This is exclusive information. It is a new fragrance from the house. And y'all know the house is going to be Day 3 fragrances. For those of you going to Scent Explorer, you have an opportunity to smell this fragrance. I'm going to do a first impressions. I haven't got my nose on it, but I am the first. This is an exclusive. So before we get into our tobaccos, it's going to be a tobacco fragrance. I'm going to want y'all to put your hands together. Put fire in the chat for Mike, the trickster, the owner, the CEO, the perfumer of Day 3 Fragrances. Let's give it up. Let's give it up. Let's give it up.
All right. What's going on, man?
Let's give it up.
What's happening? So good to be here. Thanks so much for having me back.
What's going on, brother? What's going on, brother? So, I know you reached out to me. We had talked. You had a few things in the works. I don't want to. Why don't you tell us what you had? What was some of your thoughts? Because I know we talked. I don't know if you want that information out on what we talked about in the inbox. So, after we left the last chat and you wanted to create these new fragrances, what kind of was your plan? Where was you going and what were you thinking?
Yeah, we were going to do a tobacco series at first. Well, that was the idea. You know, I and do like a three-part series, all tobacco. And as we started to execute on that idea, I kind of settled really quick on the thought of like I would much rather focus on one special one than try to force out three or not put enough time into three. Like I wanted one special one. So I may do more tobacco in the future, but for right now we have Filosofia, which is very special. It's based on a cigar that I really enjoy smoking. It's a Dominican cigar that I smoke with my family, and I'm not going to tell you all the notes because I know that you wanna go over those and guess those. But yeah, man. So the new one is going to premiere at Scent Explore. You have like a preview copy, like an exclusive copy, an exclusive bottle, and everyone else can get it at Scent Explore.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So, for those of you who have, I've had the opportunity to have several types. His bottles first came in bags.
Yeah.
Came in bags. Then it came in boxes. I should have had the boxes. I think most of the time I put all my boxes up in a tote, so I don't have the boxes. But this is kind of what you get now. You're gonna get a black box, matte, good and solid. It's going to have a pull-out. The fragrance is going to set in it. Now, it seemed like he went with a smoked glass for a tobacco fragrance or for the darker fragrances. I think this is absolutely stunning. It's a classy look. The wood has almost this matte finish to it, and it's the same kind of label, people, but there's something about this smoked glass, and I'm going to probably take a picture of it tomorrow on my IG so you get an opportunity to really see it in person. But I like this. I like this look of the glass. I think the change is that going to be your change for all your bottles going forward, or kind of where you going now?
No, I've got a new line that's going to be a little bit darker, a little bit more complex, more detailed. We're going to call it the Perfumista line, and that's going to be in the dark bottles. And yeah, they're almost transparent. You know, they're like smoky black. They're black, but you can kind of see through them a little bit. And I just felt like it had a nice smoky vibe. And I'm like, well, if you're gonna launch a cigar fragrance, it's got to go into this bottle. It's just beautiful.
Absolutely. I do enjoy the bottle. I do enjoy the bottle. I'm gonna say what other question I was gonna have. Is this Perfumista? You said line is what it's gonna be called?
Yeah, the Perfumista line.
Is this like all extracts? Is it going to be EDTs, EDPs, or is that's just the line?
Right now, I've got two in the line, and they're both extracts. So it's Filosofia, which is new. It's an extrait, and then I'm reformulating, or I reformulated Silent Rescue. So we removed some of the ingredients to allow the frankincense to speak a little bit, and then I took one of the frankincense materials out, and I put in a frankincense from Oman, and which is harder to get, more luxurious, brighter frankincense. So it kind of changed the scent profile a little bit. So we're rebranding. We're going to put it in the darker bottle, and also do that at Scent Explore too.
So will Silent Rescue, will that be the older edition we have, is that now a discontinued?
Yeah,
or is that just okay, that's going to be discontinued? So you're no longer making that one. Okay.
Right.
If y'all
Yeah.
don't have that, to kind of describe that, it was a powdery, woody scent. Extremely had a freshness, but a resinous take to it. Um, Almost like an iris kind of I believe violet leaves in there. I believe is a good violet leaf in there. It almost gives this suede leathery kind of feel to it. Beautiful fragrance. If you don't have it, I'm sorry you're not going to be able to get it. But with all these fragrances, I expect that the newer rendition will also be amazing. So let's just get to it. Let's get
Yeah.
to it.
Let's do it.
Let me see what this is talking about. I'm gonna put it on tester first. So what cigar, or talk about it while
Yeah. So, you know, the whole family works here in the studio, and my wife works with us full time. My daughter, and at night we get to kind of shut everything down, and then after dinner we'll head out back and we'll just sit under the stars and we'll just talk. You know, all the phones go away. There's no technology, and most of the time I'll light up a cigar, and we'll sit and we'll just drink and smoke and just talk about life, and then that always kind of turns into a conversation about philosophy. And filosofia is Spanish for philosophy, so that's what we decided to name the fragrance. But we use a very specific cigar. We use the Ashton VSG cigar, which is a Dominican cigar, and it's got an Ecuadorian wrapper on it. And the wrapper, because of the way that it's dried out in the shade and in the light, it starts to take on a chocolatey kind of vibe to it. So it has like a sweet chocolate kind of dried tobacco feel. And so we implemented that into the fragrance
so let me
also.
get into it before we. All right, let me try to figure out some notes and talk about
Sure.
what I'm getting before you get into it, because I don't want
Okay.
you to give anything away.
Sure.
So what I'm getting here is almost just like you said, a cigar stick. I'm getting a cigar stick with a light hint of smoke. Just a light hint. I wouldn't be surprised if some incense was in there, some form of incense, just almost like a cigar setting on a tray, kind of like burning, just a light bellow of smoke coming out of it. I do get a little bit of earthiness, so I would assume a little bit of patchoulis in here, adding a little bit of chocolatey nuance.
Mhm.
Tobacco. I feel like there's a booze in here. I feel like there's some rum in here. Um, mm. There's some sort of citrus up top. I feel like
Yeah.
I'm getting.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's part of the booze, if there's booze, but I'm getting this boozy element of citrus. I'm getting some spice too. Um, a fresh spice, aromatic. Mm.
He's good,
And a cool
people.
vanilla.
He's
Go
good.
ahead. What
He's
were you
good.
saying?
Yeah, the citrus that you're picking up on is bergamot. We use it as a carrier to sort of deliver the black pepper, because
Mm.
there's the cigar has kind of a peppery vibe right at the top. So we use the bergamot and the black pepper, and then the smokiness that you're getting, you're so close. It's not an incense, but we use just a little touch of oud, just a little
Okay.
hint of oud to
Okay.
lend it that earthy, dark, kind of smoky feel to it, because I did want it to be like the experience of smoking this particular cigar. And
Mm.
so what we did was we took the tobacco accord and we made it more earthy, kind of more complex, more detailed. So it's not like a honeyed tobacco. It's not a blonde tobacco. It is the
Mm.
tobacco that you would find if you lit up a cigar, a fine quality cigar.
Mm.
You know, we
Yeah, I
use
get
vanilla.
that. The oud isn't for those who hear oud, of course, in different fragrances, you think out animalic. I get something very dry, woody, in smoky. Just a dry, woody smoke is what I would describe this oud as. As we all know, I am a huge fan of ouds. Ouds are there are so many different nuances when it comes to oud. Again, I could talk about oud for days. I need to get a real oud connoisseur on, somebody who's into it way more than me. But you have some ouds that are chocolatey, like your Thai ouds. Then you have your Cambodians. You have your Indian ouds, which are more of your animalic, that hay kind of oud. This is just a dry, smooth, smoky oud.
Yeah, and I struggled with whether or not to put it in the notes because I didn't want people who are fans of oud to pick up this fragrance thinking they were getting an oud fragrance and be
Mm,
disappointed. And at the same time, I didn't want people who don't like oud to avoid the fragrance, thinking that it was going to be barnyardy, because it's not. It's just a very, very light touch, and it was only to add that earthy element to the tobacco.
Is there any, besides the peppery, is there any other aromatic spice in here? Because I feel like I'm getting another kind of spice. It could be
Yeah,
a cardamom or a nutmeg.
yeah. Jeez, you're so good, man. There's a little hint of nutmeg, little hint of
Okay.
nutmeg. Yeah.
I knew it had to be something aromatic. I know cardamom's real funny with me. Sometimes it gets green, it can go minty, but sometimes it can come really fresh and aromatic. But I knew it was like just an aromatic fresh. So nutmeg, which nutmeg and tobacco, even cinnamon goes very well when you start. I feel in most tobacco fragrances that I enjoy. This is
Yeah.
beautiful. Let me put this on skin. Let me see if on skin smells different. While I don't want to guess any more notes. Why don't you tell us what's in it from the top, mid, and
Yep.
base?
Yeah, the top note is bergamot. It's got black pepper, a little hint of nutmeg, just to elevate the black pepper and kind of play with it. In the mid, you get a really complex, very earthy tobacco. It's actually a tobacco accord. So there's tobacco absolute in the fragrance, but then we use some oud and some cypriol. Cypriol is like patchouli with an attitude. Like if like if patchouli was wearing a leather jacket and smoking a cigarette, like it would be cypriol. So we use some cypriol in there to kind of give it some life. And then in the base, you have French cocoa absolute. We used a vanilla absolute from Papua New Guinea, which is
Okay.
an exclusive for us. It's something that we hunted down and we put in there. Just game changer. It's the most beautiful vanilla I've ever smelled. And then a hazelnut, and the hazelnut kind of brings the chocolate and the tobacco together, so they all play nice. And
Giving it almost texture, right?
yeah, it's yeah, it kind of bridges the two so that you get one fragrance instead of a bunch of disconnected notes.
No, this is
It,
now on skin. I just get this smooth cigar. So I'm a huge fan of fragrances that become one accord, if that makes any sense.
sure.
When I think about fragrances, as I talked about, like Kilian's Roses on Ice, they made that to smell like Hendrix gin. I don't care about all the notes in it. It smells like Hendrix gin. It smells like one accord. That's what it smells like. In this, the way they're all blending, it doesn't smell, for anybody listening to me, it doesn't smell like, when a lot of people think tobacco and vanilla, I think most people think Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. I think it's one of the most popular tobacco vanilla fragrances out there.
Great
This
fragrance.
doesn't smell like this. Now, would it go into sort of the same family as a lot of other different tobacco fragrances? Yeah, sure. They all have these different nuances that go into it. I think it would fit in that family, but it doesn't smell like it. It has its own thing. To me, it just smells as you try to create a really nice, bold cigar.
Yeah. Some people are going to read the notes and think that it leans gourmand. It does not lean gourmand at all. You know, you have your hazelnut, your vanilla, your chocolate in there, but it really kind of just plays with the tobacco a little bit. It stays nice and earthy, so you're not going to get any sweet sugar. There's no candied vanilla, nothing like that. So
Yeah, on my skin, on paper, the bergamot adding freshness with the darkness was giving me that almost boozy feel with some of the spices, almost like a spice rum a little bit. But on skin, I'm not getting that, which is
yeah,
surprising. On skin, it just adds more to the texture, to the freshness of like a really not dry cigar, very fresh, like you take it right out the plastic. That freshness you get, I think it
yeah.
just adds to that. You won't smell, for anybody listening to me, you won't smell bergamot as like, oh, it's bergamot. It's just when I smelt it, I knew I was getting a citrus that was up top, that was very giving it some life. But on my skin, I don't get that. This is beautiful, Michael. God dang.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We are so happy with the tobacco cigar accord that when we go to Scent Explorer, we're actually bringing
Mm.
we're bringing a handful of VSG cigars.
Mm.
to allow the people to smell the cigar and then smell the fragrance next to the cigar. That's how happy we are with the Accord. Is we really feel like we nailed it.
Um, people. So I'm a transparent person. He sent this to me. Me and Michael have built a good relationship. He has sent me his collection, has sent me fragrances. So that's in full transparency. But I also know he has samples. Don't take my word for anything. But I'm telling you, this is, if you love a smooth, it's not rough, it's not harsh. So places. Let's talk about places. You gotta wear this. I think this is classy enough for a date night scent. Definitely date night worthy, but it's smooth enough where you're out and about autumn and winter, just going about your way. Leather jacket, browns. Yep, I'm getting browns. I'm getting colors, browns, dark browns, chocolate browns. You can just match that up. You're talking about your nice brunch boots you're wearing, your Chelseas, your jeans, just your wool jackets. This is smooth. This has a element of class to it. So I could also see dressing this up. If I was in a suit, if I was in a tux, if I was going to a gentleman's club, I can see this also fitting in this. This has great wearability. I would say autumn and winter would be very good. But I also think if you're in a controlled environment, like in the summertime at night, I would also lean on this. This is smooth.
Yeah,
Oh
thank
man.
you. People have
And
been
it's
asking if it's too masculine or feminine, and because it goes straight down the middle as like a cigar scent. There are women who that's their vibe, man. They'll go to a cigar lounge and enjoy themselves, and if that's you, you can definitely rock this perfume. Um, if you don't enjoy the vibe of like a cigar scent, then it's not going to be, it's not a floral, it's not super light, nothing like that. But I'd say it's unisex if you're the kind of woman who gets down with cigar.
it to me, yes, yes. So it's not too smoky. I think if the
Right.
smokiness was heavier, I would say it has more of a masculine feel, only because in social norms we don't smell a lot of women wearing smoky fragrance, at least on this side of the world.
Right.
But it's not too smoky. The hint of smoke is a sexy smoke. You've mastered it where it reminds me of Kilian fragrances, which they create this sexy allure, this aura that kind of grabs a person in. That's the kind of smokiness I get from here. No, this is sexy.
Thank
I
you.
look forward to wearing this. This will be my scent of the day for tomorrow. This is absolutely listen, I'm waiting for you to get a fragrance that I'm just not the biggest fan of. It has to happen inevitably. But Mike, I think you knocked it out the park on this. You created a fragrance that it's just a beautiful accord. Um, no one thing sticks out per se, even though I was able to pick certain things out just because my nose kind of picked up on these certain nuances. But I just think I find that I wouldn't be surprised if this almost wears sort of linear, which isn't a bad thing if you're creating an accord. I think linear fragrance isn't always a bad thing, but that's something that I will review later on my IG post as I give more wearings. I will give my full thoughts on wearing it as if it transitions, if it gets darker or more leathery in the
Yeah.
base. But no, this is amazing, Mike. You want to talk about samples? I know Scent Explorer. Anything you want to tell the people how they can get their hands on it? Because I know it's not on your website yet.
Yeah, if you're going to Scent Explorer, you're going to have samples in your goodie bag. So they send out like goodie bags with samples from all the companies, and you're going to have a sample of TDC, which is our coffee fragrance. But if you want to smell Philosophia, come by and see us at the table, and we'll be happy to spray some for you. We'll have samples there at the event. Also, it's going to be in our discovery set soon. So when it launches after December 1, we're going to start putting it in our discovery set. We do a thing with the discovery set where it's like, if you want to try every fragrance from the house, we'll send it to you for $30. We pay the shipping, so you don't pay shipping. And then if you like one, we just give you $30 off any full bottle that you want. So it's like getting a discovery set for free. We do that because we want you to smell it first. We don't want you to have to guess and blind buy. We want you to fall in love with it and use it. And if you have any questions about it, you can email us or you can hit us up, and we'll be happy to respond to you. So yeah, that's Scent Explorer. We're looking forward to meeting. You know, we've met so many cool people. If people, especially from your channel and your community, who have been so supportive and so cool towards us, and we're hoping that a lot of you guys show up at Scent Explorer because we want to meet you face to face. You know, shake hands, like actually put faces to the avatars. So we're excited about it. You know, we're really excited.
And last question, while I have you on the big screen, what would this be priced at? Because I know that's a big thing people going to want to know. Because these
Yeah.
are 50 mls, so what will it be priced at?
Yep. So it's 50 mil. It's going to be an X straight. It's going to be priced at 135. If you decide that you want one and you want to reserve a bottle, we have a pre-sale going on for $99, and it's going to run through Monday. That's a huge savings. So if you want one, just visit the site, and there's a pre-sale up on the site, and you can reserve it. Although I will say, though, if you're on the fence about it, don't blind buy. You know, wait. I promise it'll be worth the wait, and sample it first. But if you're just convinced you want a bottle, you can save some money that way too.
People, again, listen, I always say I'm not trying to sell anybody. I just want to kind of bring fragrances to you, fragrances I like, fragrances I love. Don't really take my word. This is my opinion. Of course, again, I'm gonna say it for the 50th time. He sent this to me. I didn't pay for this. So also take that with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt. But this is why I bring houses on. I want you to meet the people. Meet the people. What are their thoughts? What are their creations? And I also think the discovery set at $30. And if you turn around and buy, to have that 30 taken off is a hell of a deal. I don't know many companies doing that, people. But again, you choose what you want to do. It's almost like getting a free sample. And if you like it, like it. But I'm gonna tell you now, if you like tobacco fragrances, if you like sexy date night fragrances that aren't too loud, you beast mode, I need to smell it across the room, Montal, Mancera, kind of, this ain't this. It's not that. It's not imposing. This is alluring. This is something to bring somebody in, but it's not intimate. This is something I believe, based on how it's popping off of skin and how I'm getting wafts, it's going to leave a more of a sexy scent trail than it will projection. That's my interpretation. Again, I'm going to wear it, and I will give my full thoughts on my IG page if you're following me, which most of you all are. Anything else you want to add to the people before I get to my list, brother?
Yeah, man. I just want to tell your people, like, okay, so I mean, you can let them know I'm not lying. This is exactly what happened. I sent you the bottle, and the post office did us dirty. It got it to you late, and I'm sorry for that. But you messaged me and you were like, listen, I'm doing a best tobacco fragrances of the year video. Your fragrance is not on it because I haven't spent any time with it. And I appreciated that. Just the integrity, is what this community needs, is someone who's willing to say, like, listen, your fragrance, I know you sent it to me, your fragrance not on the video. Like, I was like, wow, that's awesome. Because your people, when they tune in to interact with you, your whole community, they listen to what you have to say. And so I want your people to know that you are just straight up like, listen, I haven't spent any time with it. And that's super cool, man. That's really cool. I appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate you. I do appreciate fragrance companies who appreciate the people who support them and show love back. So our working relationship, I do appreciate that as well. I know those of you all who are in my Facebook group, y'all are aware that Mike's in there, so y'all can ask him any questions. If anybody has any questions now, please ask them now. I will answer them for anybody who's familiar. But I think our brother put all the information out. Again, it's no pressure. I'm telling you, I like this. I'm telling you, it's sexy. I'm telling you, it's not a clone.
Nope.
But it's going to fit in a certain category of fragrances. If it fits in any category that I have on this sexy top 10 list, I will mention it.
Hey, are you going to Scent Explorer?
Say it again.
Are you going to go to Scent Explorer?
No, I'm not going. I'm not going this year. We'll talk. We can talk offline on that. We'll talk offline on that. But no, I won't be going this year. I thought about it, but I talked about it on my last live. But we'll chop up. We need to exchange numbers anyway, just in general. But we'll talk about that. But other than that, I'm gonna go ahead and let my brothers, if he got one last thing, I think he said what he need to say, and we're gonna get to this list, people. Anything, brother?
That's
All right.
everything. I've got Vanessa hanging out in the chat, so if anyone wants to chat and ask a question, she'll be happy to answer your questions for you. And you know, we're there for you. So if anyone wants to know anything, we got you.
Yeah, they'll be in the chat, people. They didn't just come on and do this. They'll be there to ask any questions as I do my list. Have any questions? Y'all go ahead and converse. But again, y'all know I'm a stickler. We're gonna have respect in this house. I don't have zero tolerance. Admins, if you're in here, people act up, get them out. I don't do warnings. They're done. If they don't know how to conduct themselves in public, they're done. That's it. Kick them.
Hey man, thanks so much for having me on, dude. I really appreciate you,
brother. Appreciate it. Peace.
All right, have a good night.
People, cool guy. Listen, it's nothing better than talking about a house and you actually like the person. A lot of houses don't do that, but of course, indie artisan houses are more personable, or I find to be more personable than you know, your big houses. Like Dior isn't coming on here. It's never gonna happen. But anyway, y'all came here to hear about my list, so let's just go ahead and get to it. So again, this is a list of 10. This was rough. This was rough for me, people. But I'm gonna do 3 honorable mentions. One honorable mention will probably shock you why it's not on the list, but it's 10. It can't be there. So let's get to it. Coming in, honorable mention number 1. This was a fragrance I got back in 2017, 18, I believe. 17 or 18, I don't remember. This is a fragrance that did honey correctly. This is tobacco. This is honey. Bang for your buck. It doesn't smell overly synthetic. Has a little bit of smoke to it, a bit of booziness. They use Manuka honey. It's some little dried fruits, I believe red wines in here as a note. But it's just a smooth honey tobacco fragrance that doesn't smell like baby powder. And this is from the house of Man Made, and this is 1821 spirits. Tobacco spirits, sweet tobacco spirits. Now, this fragrance, people, listen, bang for your buck. Easily one of the best honey tobacco fragrances you can buy. It's just rich, like the honey is dense, it's syrupy. This performs like a champ. You don't have to overspray this. This is one that I consider this a creeper. What do I mean by that? For those of us who are frag heads and we ruin our noses by wearing fragrance and smelling fragrance every day and putting tons of sprays on, I think we're just wearing our noses out. That's why some days you need to just go like a week or 2 weeks without wearing anything, just to like reset your nose. Because the majority of people who don't really wear anything, which most people don't, their noses are even more sensitive and they will pick up. This is one that I can easily put on like 4 sprays and I don't think it's kind of enough. But when you go around people, they'll be like, what are you wearing? That's sexy. This is rich, honey, tobacco, smoky a little bit. I just think you can't go wrong. Look at the dent. You can't go wrong with this fragrance. I think pound for pound is one of the best honey tobacco fragrances you can buy. And that's Man Made 1821. Sweet tobacco spirits. That's honorable mention number 1. In age range. Age range for this, I don't think there's going to be many tobaccos, at least on this list today, that I would recommend for like a teenager. If you're a teenager that happen to be watching me, my demographics say most of y'all don't watch me. But if you happen to come across my video, it's not one I would. I think 25 and up, 21. I think if you can drink at 21, you're hanging out in clubs, I think tobacco's okay. Anyway, moving on. I think that's what Man Made Sweet Spirits. It's not juvenile, so I like that. It doesn't have a juvenile nuance to it. Honorable mention number 2. I'm gonna have 3 honorable mentions. I normally do 2, but I'm gonna do 3 because, well, this other fragrance I just need to talk about. Y'all gonna be surprised it's not on the list. But anyway, this fragrance is a fragrance I was able to get at TJ Maxx back in might be 17 or 18. The first person I ever saw, and the only person I saw talking about this fragrance at first, was Max Forte. He was one of the reasons, like, I saw it for like $20 or $15. I went straight to YouTube. Who's talking about this? This is when I was stopping in TJ Maxx doing, just kind of seeing what they had up there. Most stuff, they just never had anything. This was an absolute gem. I'm talking about tobacco. You already know what it is. This is from Aramis, and this is Tobacco Reserve. Now, people, this is mature, classy tobacco. This is dry. This is green. This has some earthiness to it. This, instead of using a vanilla, it uses tonka as a vanilla substitute. Now, this, I'm probably going to go on a limb and probably say like 35 and up is where because they have, I believe, clary sage, which is very prominent in the opening, which gives this green feel to it. A lot of oak moss. It is oak mossy. It is green, earthy, dry, pipe tobacco. There's not a lot of sweetness. This is tobacco at its finest with the sweetness coming from tonka. To me, this is just, when it dries down, this is just probably some of the most classiest tobacco you can buy. If you're into true tobaccos, I appreciate the super chat, my friend. Aramis Tobacco Reserve is absolutely stunning. Again, this is for the mature person or for somebody who really, really, really likes tobacco. This tobacco doesn't play around. But I doubt you can find it for $20. And I also wouldn't pay hundreds of dollars for this. If you're gonna start going into the $100 realm, I would probably just buy other fragrances. But is it worth $100? Yeah, I think it's worth about $50, $60. I think it's worth that. Would I pay $50, $60 for it? No, because I would just put that money towards other fragrances I'm gonna talk about. But again, a good one to have, a really good one to have. I enjoy that one, but I don't wear it as often. But I like that. My last honorable mention. This is gonna be the one that y'all gonna be shocked about. Hold on one second. I did something with the computer. Okay. This is one that y'all gonna really be shocked about. Now, it's probably because I actually prefer the original version, the EDP, a lot more. I think it's richer. I think it's denser. But this is one that is, I call rum and coke. This has so many notes going on. Some freshness, some benzoin, tobacco, spice. But it's sexy. It is sexy. But I also prefer the EDP more. This is from the house of Raja, and this is Enigma Pour Homme Cologne. Now, Enigma is absolutely stunning. It really is. It really is. If you want that, Hennessy and Coke vibe with a hint of tobacco smoke in the background and with some resinous benzoin that lingers around the life of the fragrance. Sexy. Because it's the cologne, it has a brightness to it up top. I prefer the richness of the EDP a little bit more. Actually, a lot more. But this is good and it's more affordable, and you can get it 100 mLs for probably under $200. But this is Creation E or Enigma is an absolute stunning fragrance, a sexy tobacco fragrance. It's not in today's top 10, but it's worthy to be discussed. We're going to move on. Let's see. Coming in at number 10. Let me get my banners ready because I am going to be able to I did kind of prep and kind of made banners so at least the names can show up on the screen. I probably should have did it for my honorable mentions, but I didn't. It is what it is. This is a fragrance that shocked me. Upon spraying this fragrance on a test strip, I never thought that this fragrance was going to do what it was going to do. 2020 is where this fragrance really showed me its colors. This is a unique, boozy tobacco fragrance. There is nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing on the market that smells like this. Not even close. This is earthy, fresh, powerful, rum, has that sweetness, comes from the rum, like a sweet sugar cane. This fragrance in COVID, I put like 2 sprays on. Again, when I first got this spray, I never thought this would get me the compliments that I receive when wearing this fragrance. I went to the post office. People had on masks. Like, this is high up in early COVID when people were like dying left and right. And people smelt me through the mask with only like 3 sprays and was like, "Ooh, you smell good. What you wearing?" What? You can smell this? This is coming from the house of Nishane, and this is Fan Your Flames. Let me get that on the screen. This, you don't need much sprays for this. To me, this is like a 3 spray fragrance. It's really more 2, 3 if you want to be frisky, 4 if you want to be daring, 5 if you're absolute nuts. If you're nuts, man. Listen, it lingers. If you're going to be outside in, let's say you're going to be, at a cookout, or, you were doing the pumpkin patch thing or whatever, and you was going to be outside, I might go 6. Again, fragrance matching environment. If I'm going to the bar with this, oh my God, there's a classiness and elegance with this fragrance that is superb, that is next to none. Now, I did do a first impressions video on Fan Your Flames X. I like it a little bit more than this. I just don't have a bottle yet because I don't know. I'm too busy buying bottles of Faith. I ain't talking about Faith on this video, but I'm too busy buying bottles of Faith. With the bottles of Faith I could have bought, I could have bought like 7 bottles of the X. Anywho, this is sexy, man. And there's a classiness to it, and I think the oak moss to it adds. Type of person, I believe, in my opinion only, take it or leave it, you need to be in your 30s to really kind of enjoy this. This has some coconut, so it has this almost tropical vibe to it with the rum. This is one I have worn, like, your summertime in the Caribbean, on vacation near water at night. Wear this, bro. Go wear this. It's something about that saltiness off the water, the breeze coming off of it, the natural air in the Caribbean, the fruits, the trees, the smell of the land in this, that just takes it to another level. Trust me. That's summertime. Summertime in the States, I got other fragrances I would probably wear. But this just rocks. This is a great autumn and winter fragrance. In early spring, I think the dry woodiness is very reminiscent of like dry leaves. So again, environment. When you walk out the house in the summertime now, and you walk in the summertime now, what the heck? When you walk out the house in the summertime, and when you walk out the house now, there's like, smell the air. When you walk out the house tomorrow, just smell the air. If there's leaves on the ground, just take the air in. It smells different, at least if you're on the East Coast. Listen, if you're in Florida, you like, bro, I don't know what you're talking about. It smells like half-neck and chicks in G-strings and in ocean out here all the time. Okay, I understand that. I'm on the East Coast. It smells different. Sorry, we have seasons. Hate me now. But this is just an amazing fragrance. I enjoy it. And that's Fan Your Flames at number 10. Don't want to ramble on that. Of course, if you're watching a replay, just fast forward. If you don't hear me talking, it is what it is, but I'm going to talk. Why? It's my channel. You don't got to watch me. This is a sleeper fragrance. Coming in at my number 9. This is another boozy, fragrance. This fragrance has notes of tea in it, I believe. I believe a tea accords in here. This is a fragrance that, to me, you know how Mason Margiela came out with Jazz Club? This is the really real Jazz Club fragrance. I think most tobacco fragrances smell extremely sexy when you add booze to it. And this one hits like none other. This is coming from the house of Jovoy, and this is Pavillion Rouge. Let me see. Now, this is smooth. This is tobacco I can wear year round. This is really like signature scent tobacco to me. There's a freshness to it that I think you can wear this in the summertime. I've worn it in the summertime, and I think it's because it's tons of like booze and freshness in this fragrance. Stunning fragrance, longevity on this. Okay, so I didn't give age range. I gave age range and Fan Your Flames. Longevity and Fan Your Flames is like 10 plus hours. It projects, it performs. If you put more than 5 sprays on and you're going to be inside, you could choke people out or you could offend people. I think Fan Your Flames is sexier in about the 3 spray area if you're going to be inside. About 3 sprays, maybe 4, depending on what's going on around you. With Pavillion Rouge, this is like 4, maybe 5 sprays, depending on where you're going. Again, environment. So let's just say tonight I leave here and I go to the bar, right? I get dressed up and go to the bar. I might put 5 or 6 sprays on. Well, you're not an oversprayer. I don't think 6 sprays is overspraying, but you know, EQ, you're not an oversprayer. Why would you put 6 sprays? Again, environment. What is the environment? The environment is bar food, wings and stuff. The environment is the smell of other people who also want to go out and possibly put a fragrance on, as well as liquor flowing throughout the bar. People can smell it. It's the same reason that if you drink a lot and you don't think you smell like liquor till you get pulled over by the police and you pop some Altoids in your mouth and spray some cologne and the police walk up to the window and they be like, bro, you stink. You've been drinking. Get out the car. Follow the pin. You're like, oh shit, I'm fucked. But anybody who doesn't drink knows when someone's drinking. They can smell it. But the person who's drinking never knows they're drinking. Anyway, there's a scent to it. I think this works in the environment. It's classy, gentleman's club kind of vibe. Again, I think this is like the real jazz club like fragrance. Sexy, absolutely stunning. And that's Pavillion Rouge. And I didn't put that up there. So hold on one second. I thought I put that up there. From Jovoy. And that's my number 9. Dang, that's making a lot of noise. Okay. Let me see. Did I not put this one up there? I thought I wrote this fragrance out. I didn't type it out, and I'm not about to type it out now. So it is what it is. Coming in 9, 10, 9, 8. Coming in number 8. This fragrance. So a lot of different fragrances could fit in my number 8. I'm going to name probably 5 fragrances that could fit in 8. Because they all smell sort of the same, but they go in different. They do their own thing. My number 8 is coming from the house of Navitus, and this is Virtus. Now, this smells really close to red tobacco, which I own. So red tobacco can also fit here. If you have Carlisle, it can kind of fit there. If you have Triumph of Bacchus, it can fit there. Red tobacco, let's talk about it. This fragrance kind of somewhat annoys me, which is why I don't have a heavy dent in it. I need to get my nose on the new one, but I'm gonna tell you why this annoys me, because it didn't need oud in it. The oud in here is what makes this really screechy. It's trash oud. Is it oud, real oud? Maybe, maybe not, but I think the oud is trash. It's screechy, it's sharp, it's medicinal. I don't like it. And that's why the opening of this is terrible to me. But as it dry down, it gets really good. The one thing I like about this fragrance, and again, you can use Triumph for Bacchus, you can use, and I paid for this. They didn't send me this. For anybody who might think I'm shilling. Navitou St. Ashley ain't never sent me anything, to be, honest. But the reason I like this, I believe what this has is mango, green mango in it, or mango milk or coconut milk in here. This has a tropical smoothness to this fragrance. It's not rough. Now it has that nutmeg, that aromatic, sharp, that nutmeg cinnamon spice up top, which all of those fragrances kind of have. Triumph for Bacchus has that booziness with the rum that might be a little bit better than this, but I don't own that because I own these two fragrances. So if I ever run out of these two fragrances, which I probably never will, then I'll probably get Triumph for Bacchus. But that's a good one as well. Very smooth, very enjoyable, spicy, dry, resinous tobacco type of person. Now, this is heavy. This is almost winter is when I like to wear this. Cooler weather. Nighttime is where I like to wear this. I would never walk into work smelling like this. Jesus, making all sorts of noise, knocking over bottles. Would I walk into work smelling like Pavillon Rouge? Yeah. I think there's an element of class that I can wear that to work and I won't smell like somebody who's been drinking or going to the gentleman's club at lunchtime. I'm there to get wings, not lap dances. Okay. But this one, it just has a very sharp richness to it with all the spice, but this is smooth. And I would take this over red tobacco every day. And that's just because I hate the opening of red tobacco, which is why I should probably just sell this bottle. It annoys me to the utmost. And I've had that bottle since like 2017 is when I got that bottle when it first came out. I just don't reach for it. I got other tobaccos I like better. If the red tobacco is your favorite, listen, I'm not here to hold your hand. If you like it, I love it. For me, I think the opening is absolutely annoying. And I will just wear this over that. But that's what I would do. I would go with this at my number 8 spot. Coming in at number 7. Number 7 is a bottle that was sent to me. Transparency. But for some reason, as this has aged like over a year, I believe this came out a year ago. I think it's smoother. I like it more. And it just hits more than it hits when I first got it. When I first got it, I think I might have rated it like a 7.5. I would easily give this an 8.5 now. So much better. Again, smooth, vanillic, tobacco, spice. A hint of booziness at the top. Listen, booze and tobacco and leather is always going to go. This one is amazing. Coming from the house of Zaharoff, this is Signature Tobacco. Amazing fragrance. Now, with this one goes into the family of what's the name of that thing? Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. I don't own that bottle, but I do own this other bottle, and I guess I'll talk about it right here too. It would go into the house or the family of like Tobacco Vanille. I think for Sophia will go in there. That kind of like just this smooth tobacco spice, just smells like a cigar. Listen, the way this hits on skin and the compliments I have received from this, no, this is top tier tobacco. I don't care what nobody says. Yes, it was sent to me. But it just works. I'm sorry. If it don't work for you, I get it. This isn't a loud fragrance. Again, people who like fragrances to be smelled across the room, it is not beast mode. But I don't like my fragrances to hit like that, to be honest. I personally don't. I like fragrances to be alluring and sexy. I think if you're loud, you're not necessarily sexy. I think if a girl walked into a luxurious nightclub spot and you can see her butt cheeks, I don't find that to be sexy. But if you can see her curves in the right dress, but you can't see her butt cheeks, but everything's not popping out, but you can still see silhouettes, I find that to be sexy. Another fragrance that I think could fit here is Al Harmain Amber Oud. Now, we're going to talk about this fragrance. We're going to talk about this real quick because this fragrance has a lot of controversy on Fragrantica. This Amber Oud fragrance has a ton of controversy on Fragrantica. So for those of you all who just got into FragCom yesterday or just got into FragCom since 2020, relax, take notes, and don't talk. Let adults talk. And this is what I mean, because Fragrantica, people are arguing and they just don't know what they're talking about, or they have limited knowledge on what it is they're talking about. So about back in 2017, if you got this fragrance in America, you received a Tobacco Vanille clone. If you got this fragrance in Europe, I believe you received Interlude Man. That was the problem with this fragrance when it first came out. Depending on where you were in the world, you got a different version with the same exact name. So when you see reviews on Fragrantica where people are saying it's Tobacco Vanille, it's Tobacco Vanille, then other people like it's Interlude Man, look at the notes. And then other people like, Baccarat Rouge 540. Amber Oud, the original, I've had this since 2017. This is Tobacco Vanille, but a beast mode. I'm telling you, I don't know if you can find this no more, because I think with all the confusion, they eventually, I think back in 2020 or 2019, they came out with the Tobacco Edition. Is there a difference between this and the Tobacco Edition? I don't know. I don't have an urge to buy the Tobacco Edition. If anybody has the Tobacco Edition and they want to send it to my P.O. box, a sample for me to compare, my P.O. box is on my IG. You can send it there, but I'm not going to go out and buy it because I don't need to. I have no desire to. But they have a Tobacco Edition. So when you see people reviewing this fragrance on Fragrantica, just understand the discrepancies in it is, if you're new to the community, you're not going to understand, and you're going to say that our noses are broken. If you've been around for a while, back in 2017, and when I say one spray on this, one spray, maybe two. First of all, this is like 15 hours. This is Tobacco Vanille on steroids. 15 hours. It's going to scent trail, projection, all that. If you put 4, you are trying to choke out the room. You are really trying to make a statement. I don't know why you need to make that statement. The only reason I would put 4 sprays of this on is if I'm going to a cigar bar and I'm like everybody smoking cigars, then I would probably put like 4 or 5 sprays of this on. But I'm going to go home to the cigar bar, then back home. I'm not stopping anywhere else because it's just going to be too much. On top of the fact that you've been in a cigar bar, so you're going to be smelling like cigars. Anyway, that's Amber Oud, just Al Harmain Amber Oud, just Amber Oud. No gold edition, just Amber Oud. That's the Tobacco Vanille. I don't know what's going on in my chair. That thing is tripping. So, okay. So that was number 7, was Zaharoff Signature Tobacco. So let's get to it. My number 6 is a newer fragrance, but this fragrance has given me tons of compliments. This is from probably one of the sexiest fragrance houses you can purchase from. They just create sexy fragrances. You probably already know what the house is, and this is from the house of Kilian, and this is Smoking Hot. Now, what is this? As I said to Michael, I love fragrances that create an accord that smells like it's supposed to smell. This is supposed to smell like apple hookah. That's what it is. I don't care about the notes. I know people will smell this and they'll say angel share. Yes, if you smell this by itself, you will be reminded of angel share. I own angel share. If you put them side by side, they don't smell alike. Angel share doesn't smell like apple hookah to me. This smells exactly like apple hookah. Stunning. Now, room filler? No, absolutely not. Scent trail, monster? Yeah, sexy scent trails. Now with this, I go about 6 sprays. This is a 6 sprayer for me. Where do I spray? Definitely hit the shoulders. Why do I hit my shoulders? Because as I'm walking by people, it's the closest thing to people as I pass them. So I'm putting my scent closer. I go behind the neck. Why? Because after I passed you and I'm walking with a purpose or not, the scent trail is picking up and I'm just leaving like a flowing scent trail behind me. I'm 6'3". I like to put a fragrance like right in the center of the chest. Depending on how strong it is, I won't do that because I don't like getting hit in the face all day with scent. But with something like this, I put it in the center of the chest. Why? Because if I see people, women I know, even homeboys, you giving them a dap, like it's all gonna be right there in their face. And they're gonna be like, bro, that smells amazing. Those hugs last a little bit longer. So that's where I like to spray at. And then, go behind the neck if you feel the need to. But most of the time, what I like to do, because I talk with my hands, I might go with my wrist. I don't go behind the hands all the time. Why? Because I'm hygienic. I wash my hands. So I like to go in the wrist. Why? So as I'm talking, as I talk with my hands, I'm creating a fan of fragrance. So this is just one of those fragrances that I'm glad I bought it. I'm not glad I paid retail for it. I'm not glad I paid retail for it because you can get it at discounters. You can get it in Facebook groups for a lot cheaper. But I'm okay. I'm not upset that I have it. And I think it's sexy. To me, is it better than Angel Share? Yeah, I think it's better than Angel Share. In my opinion. I like it more. That's my personal opinion. It doesn't have to be yours. Let me see what the comments on, because I'm trying to switch between the banners and the comments. Almost wish that I can give my admins access to this and then they can control all this so I can just start typing. Smoking hot is so damn good. Can't wear it here in Florida. Bro, you can wear it in Florida. You can wear it if you're in the right environment. Are you in a nightclub? Are you going to a bar? Wear it, bro. I'm telling you. Like, you're going somewhere where they actually, listen, this is why I'm going to tell you you can wear this in Florida. One, it smells like apple hookah. Last time I remember, you can go to any club from California to California to Florida and smell people smoking hookah. Okay, then you can wear this. Just don't go bananas on it. Stop watching people who tell you to put 20 sprays on. It's goofy. Stop it. Just 6 sprays on. That's it. You're in Florida, so your body heat and the humidity. Just put like 4 sprays on. Trust me. You go to the bar, you're in the right environment, it's going to work. Would I wear this in the daytime going to the beach? No, I prefer something a little bit more citrusy. But you're going out at night, and then you have that breeze. You're on Ocean Drive, and that breeze that's hitting you. Okay. You do what you do. Do what works best for you. I'm not going to tell you how to wear fragrances. I'm going to tell you that people who only have like one season, who say they can't wear tobaccos and ouds, they do in the Middle East. Pretty sure it's a little bit hotter over there. You can do it. You just have to do it right. Can I do it more because I'm in the upper East Coast? Yeah, I can, but so be it. Coming in at number 5. Again, I talked about this fragrance last week, so I'm not even going to prolong. This is one I think every man needs. If you're a man and you haven't at least sampled this, I don't know why you haven't sampled it. I just don't know. I think if you're 30 and up, you should already have this. You just should. I have a link in my Joma shop. You should hit my link in Joma shop and buy you a 50 ml. Or not. Get it wherever you want to get it. But that's a little self-promotion. Why not? The companies don't show love to me. Why not? But anyway, this is from the house of Ormond Jane. This is Mont Tabac Intensivo. It just works. This is signature scent. I don't care where you're going, what you're doing, what you have on. You can be wearing regular clothes. You can be dressed up. You can go formal, informal. You can go to work. It doesn't matter. You can wear this. I think this is grown man juice. Grown man perfumery right here. Grown man perfumery. Again, 30 and up. Fresh. You got that mountain air. It's almost like this minty outer Hiddick kind of thing, like coming off the peaks of the breeze of like snow, fresh snow and wind. On top of nice dry tobacco. Bro, some citruses. This is a 10 out of 10 fragrance. The company don't show me love. They don't like a post. They haven't sent me anything. I'm not shilling. I don't care if you do it or not, but I think every man should have this. Every man should have this. Mont Tabac Intensivo from Ormond Jane is an absolute stunning fragrance. Sample it at least. And I think you can get this at discounters. You don't have to pay retails at discounters. So Joma Shop or Facebook groups or, you know, Frag Buy or whatever you shop at, you can probably find that for a good price. Shop around, get it for the best price. I don't, you know, whatever works for you. But I'm telling you, it absolutely works. Compliments, yeah. That's grown man juice, though. You know, grown men who deal with grown women, not you, R. Kelly's. Going back to it. All right, we're at number four. All right, number 4 is a fragrance. I believe I was the first one on YouTube who reviewed this fragrance. I'm pretty sure I was. If you look at the YouTube, first one I did the first impressions on this fragrance. The amount of compliments I received from this smoky, resinous, ambery fragrance, is one to die for. I mean, absolute killer of a fragrance. Compliments. Listen, I walked past, I think I had 4 sprays on to this. Walked past some women. I think I was shopping. Where was I at? I think I was shopping. No, I was going to the cheesecake. Cheesecake, go figure. Walked by. They was like, hey, what are you wearing? They was just like, what are you wearing? You smell good. Nothing crazy like, oh, I got to get your number. Let me hug you. And, you know, it was just like, oh, you smell good. What are you wearing? And I was like, oh, I didn't think you could smell it. I ain't put that many sprays on, like 4 sprays. This is coming from the house of Dior, and this is Tobacco Color. Now, I know they got clones out and stuff. I don't know how close the clones are. I don't really care how close the clones are. I'm not interested in owning them. But if you got them or you have a reviewer who have compared the two, then, you know, take their advice for it. I don't have an opinion on it. Yeah, man. Smoky. One could almost say that this in Smoking Hot almost goes into the same family. This Tobacco Color is a lot stronger than Smoke. It's denser. It's a lot denser, stronger fragrance than Smoking Hot. But they have similarities, except for instead of hookah, this is like rich tobacco. Me personally, I don't think hookah and tobacco leaf smell alike. If you think they smell alike, I don't know. Then I just don't think you've been to enough hookah spots or you've been to enough cigar lounges where you can tell the difference. And I just think that's a nose thing. But stunning fragrance, compliments through the roof. Wintertime, cold weather. If you go somewhere where it's cold and it's a nice breeze, you're going to kill them with it. You don't need a lot of sprays with this. 3, maybe 4 sprays. I stay about there. Where do I go? Shoulders. Shoulders and wrists is where I kind of go with that. Because to be honest, this has that almost smoky tobacco. There's some incense in here as a smoked tobacco. Tobacco like leather when it comes to the opposite sex. I can't, you know, whatever you're into. Or those who identify as women, whatever. Can be a hit or a miss, depending on. So, like, if I'm giving hugs or about to go in for a kiss and you have stuff on your neck, you have to understand they're going to be getting wafts of that. That's enough reason I just don't understand you 20 spray people. People doing 20 sprays, I'm assuming you don't get no ass. Because how are you fucking and you wafting all over the place? Something about that doesn't seem sexy to me. If a woman wore Miss Dior and put 37 sprays on and no, go take a shower, go take a bath. You stinking up the space. This isn't sexy. I just assume that you're a person who don't have a lot of sex. Well, you don't have sex at all, because that can be a bit much. Like, I'm giving you a hug and your fragrance is just wafting and burning my nostrils. So I might not go here all the time because my lips is close to my neck. So if I'm, so I'll like the shoulders, wafts, or I'll go to wrist. 2 on the wrist, 2 on the shoulders, call it a day. The wrist, as I'm moving around, I'm gonna get wafts. Shoulders is close enough to my face where as I walk and as I move, I can smell it. But I don't know, man. You 20 spray dudes. I'm assuming you don't get ass. I don't know. Good luck though. You don't got to convince me. You ain't gonna convince me. To me, that just seems like an annoying space to be in. But to each his own. You like it, I love it. If she likes it, I love it. Women, that's gonna be annoying to me. Don't do it. I plan on getting something. I don't want to smell your fragrance burning my nostrils all night. Now, going in at number 3. Back as we're gonna make this an adult show. This, it's after hours. Adult show. Anyway, coming in at number 3. These last 3 fragrances, I think I'm the only one that's really been talking about these fragrances, at least from an internet standpoint. I was the first one really hyping this fragrance house up. The first one hyping these fragrances up. Really gave it a blow up. Now, a lot of you might have not heard of these fragrances from me because y'all follow other big channels, but the timestamp is the timestamp. I was hyping it, and then it went to Facebook groups. They told reviewers, and then reviewers got a hold of it, and they talked about it, and they just happen to have bigger channels. But when it comes to the Christopher Columbus of this, oh, that's me. This comes from the house of Uniquee Luxury, and this is Coute. What are we talking about? What are we? You talking about sexy? This could easily be number 1. Now, this, you got to be 21 and up wearing this. And this is a nighttime fragrance. Don't wear this to work. Just don't. This is complex. It changes. But the reason why I say don't wear this to work, this smells like whiskey. Smells like you've been drinking a single malt whiskey. If you like Baronda, but Baronda gets a little woody, musky near the dry down, this booze stays powerful. But the beauty of this fragrance as it transitions is when you start getting to the late dry down and that vanilla, amber, patchouli, tobacco really start making its way, it becomes this smooth, vanillic tobacco. Coute is a 10 out of 10 fragrance. It is one of the greatest boozy fragrances you can ever make. This is the standard. I always said if I was going to make my own fragrance house or own fragrances, I would stay like boozy. I want sexy. I want everything to be nights out, clubs, booze. This is the standard. This is the standard for me when it comes to boozy. And then when you add tobacco in that, I believe some ooze in here, you almost get this leathery feel. Boozy tobacco fragrances, this is really my standard. And then things have to meet that and then exceed that. Stunning. 10 out of 10 fragrance. 10 out of 10 fragrance. Anybody who has this fragrance, just put fire in the chat. I want to see fire in the chat. And you can get this. I mean, I believe this house hit discounters, so you don't even have to pay retail for this. At one point, you could only buy this fragrance from Beverly Hills Perfumery. It was an exclusive to the store. You don't have to do that no more. You can get this at like Fragrance Buy and check in the Facebook groups. Like, you can get that for a really, really, really good price. This is the standard. If you're a man, all right, a few things. Because I mean, this is strong, so I have to do a disclaimer. You want a beast mode fragrance that's going to push across people? Don't put like 6 sprays. To me, I think 7 sprays is overspraying. You don't really need more than that. I don't care if you're outside. You don't need more than that. This is a fun, playful flirt. This is all about fun. This is all about sex. This is all about playful. This is all about a night out. This is all about having a good time. I'm not wearing this in the daytime. I'm not. I'm going out to a bar. I'm reaching for this. I'm going to a club. I'm reaching for this. I'm going out on a date. I'm reaching for this. I'm going out to dinner. I will reach for this. I'm going out to a New Year's Eve gala. New Year's Eve coming up. I would reach for this. This is a great New Year's Eve fragrance. Great. Booze, tobacco, leather, and sex. I know you got a hotel room upstairs and the gala's downstairs. I hope you did. Picking up something. Bro, what are we talking about? We talk about booze. You cannot talk about boozy fragrances and not mention this fragrance. That's it. I don't got nothing else to say. I brought this house to the light. It just works. Literally, I go about 2 sprays on this, man. I go shoulder, and because I like talking with my hands, I might only hit one of my wrists. Or I do half a spray on one, half a spray on the other. That's the extent of what I'm gonna do here. The extent of what I'm gonna do with spraying. You don't need anything else. You're begging for attention, and it's just gonna be sad. You're begging. Stop. It's okay. You look good or you don't. You don't need it. Amazing scent. Amazing scent. We got 203 people in the chat. I hope y'all liking the content. If you're your first time here, I appreciate you being here. If you don't like the content, it's cool. My house ain't for you, and that's okay. You know, make sure you took your shoes off at the door, and you can pick them up as you walk out. We're partying over here. I'm gonna get my music right with StreamYard because normally, we party. I got music and everything else. If you're just getting here, what's your drink of choice? Today, we went with the big bottle Macallan 12 single malt whiskey, double cast. The good stuff. All right, we're getting to number 2. Again, if you are here or you just stop by here, don't forget to hit the like button for me. It goes a long way in helping the channel grow. I really do appreciate y'all spending y'all Friday night kicking it with a brother like no other. Okay, coming in at number 2. So y'all already know my tobacco and my boozy couté. If that's where it starts, then you know these next 2 fragrances really gonna have to be the epitome of what it is. This is another fragrance I brought to the FragCon. Yes, nobody was talking about this fragrance before I was talking about this fragrance. I talked about this fragrance, I think it was in my 2018 pickups, maybe 19. I forgot when this came out. But like the day it came out, I had my bottle like 2 days later. I paid for it. This fragrance, y'all already know. We ain't gonna even hold it. This is from the house of Les Indemodables. Let me put the band up here. And this is Vanille Havane. Now, this has rum. So it's booze and tobacco. But you get this fruity element, but you get some earthiness. You get this chocolatey nuance. I always said, if I could take the original Creation E or Enigma, and I could add like a chocolatey nuance to it, you would end up with this. When you talk about date night, sexy, attractive, hair turning, neck nibbling, hugs lasting a little bit longer than they should, sniffing. You can hear the inhales. Somebody hug you and you can hear. When you can hear that show, you can feel the body rise. What are we talking about, man? What are we talking about? This works. I don't do 3-4 sprays. It's all I do with this. This is perfection. 10 out of 10. Perfection. 10 out of 10. And I think they have an extrait out now. And it's like a 10 ml for like $100 at Lucky Scent. Now, I'm curious. My guy Melvin hit me up and said, hey, bro. He said, they got a 10 ml for like 100. He know I was probably spend that money. And I'm like, I don't know, bro. I don't know if it's worth it for me to do that. I don't know if I feel like spending that money. I just don't. I'm like, well, maybe. And I think if you can get like 3 drops, if for like $5 or $10, I don't know. Somebody put it in the chat. Somebody go to Lucky Scent real quick. Somebody go to Lucky Scent and put in the chat how much the extrait is. I believe it's like $10, $5. I was like, $5 short money, right? Like that's some Chick-fil-A, right? That's a Chick-fil-A sandwich. That's like, okay, I'll spend a Chick-fil-A sandwich to see if a bottle is worthy. But I think the biggest bottle they have is 10 mLs. And I'm like, if it's really good, I'm going to burn through that because I would probably wear that more than I wear this. But I don't know. I got a lot of fragrances. I probably could like let that last a little bit. But it's something about paying $100 for a 10 ml that I don't know, that don't set right with me. It got to be stellar. Like it got to be like you can get Faith, a 10 ml in my Facebook group from a Connect for like, I don't know, $60-something or something. I don't know. It might be 100. I don't know. I think it's like $60. So $100 for a 10 ml, that's a stretch for me to do that. I mean, it's short money, but it's a stretch for me. Anywho, beautiful fragrance, stunning. I mean, it goes. And I don't think I talked about sex, unisex and stuff. Okay, this is unisex. Couté, a woman can wear it, but I think that's masculine. A woman can wear what she want to wear. I find it to be masculine. Tabac Color, you got to like smoky. You got to be a woman who likes smoky fragrances. I think Tabac Color is, I think that's masculine. It's smoky. It's masculine. Ormond Jane, Mont Tabac Intensivo, that's a man. If I smell it in the air, I think a man's been in there. If you're a woman, you want to wear it, cool. Do what you do. Smoking Hot, you gotta like a little bit of smoke in it. But I think that leans a little bit more masculine. But you got to be a woman who likes smoky scents, woody smoky scents. If you like it, but you can be sexy in this. Sexy woman wearing all black, heels up, your calves looking good, your legs shaved. You got some glasses on, even though you don't wear glasses. You got a fedora on. Look at you looking sexy at the corner of the bar. Send her over a couple of drinks. That's sexy. Tabac, signature Tabac. I think this is masculine. Because of the woody elements, but you can kind of like, if you're a woman and you like woody fragrances, but I think that's a masculine fragrance. Virtus. I mean, if you like tobacco fragrances as a woman, I mean, okay, I think that's masculine too. The same way I feel about red tobacco. Pavillon Rouge, I think is unisex. Fan Your Flames is definitely masculine with that oak moss, but again, do what it is that you want to do. So for men who like, I don't really like, I smelled tobacco. Let me see, my man. I smelled tobacco on a woman and it was amazing. I can see that, bro. Listen, here's what I'm gonna tell y'all. My guy Hood Sense in the house, man. Listen, you trying to make me get that Aventus Absolute. Stop posting about it. I'm not trying to buy it. I've already spent too much money this month. Stop it. My guy, that's my guy. His opinion matters on things to me. Certain people's opinion matters. We built enough. His opinion matters. Listen, man, this is sexy. This is sexy, but you gotta be a woman. I mean, social norms. social norms will say that this is a masculine scent. I think the right woman wearing it in the right spot, men like to smell masculine fragrances, contrary to popular. I mean, as long as you ain't smelling like, Bois de Portugal. Bro, I smell a woman smell like Bois de Portugal. I'm just staying away from her. I think something wrong with her. I don't know. I think she might want to have a dick measuring contest. I don't know. I'm cool on that. You smell like Bois de Portugal? I'm cool on that. Congrats. You won. I don't want no parts of that. But tobacco law, I think in the right spot, like a bar, stuff like that. I think in the right environment, sexy, grown and sexy. You got the jazz going on. I think a woman can pull all of these off, these smoky environment fragrances. Plus, women wearing masculine scents. Men want to wear that scent. They're going to like it. So it's going to draw attention to a man who's going to be like, damn, that smells good. I kind of want to wear that. Subconsciously in their mind, they're like, I want to wear that. That starts the conversation. Men, you want to start a conversation with the woman? Sometimes wearing feminine fragrances do the same thing. That's why I have feminine fragrances. That's why in the spring and summer, I would wear Fleur Narcotique from Ex Nihilo, and I get tons of attention with that. And that is feminine all the way. But you talking about attention, head-turning fragrances? But yeah, anyway, back to it, man. I got my guys laughing at me, man. I don't know. I don't say some wild stuff. But yeah, you probably laughing at my Bois de Portugal. Yeah, a woman smell like Bois de Portugal. You got it, Slim. I don't want no parts of that. You won. You might drink me under the table, and I'm going to have to keep one eye open. I'm not turning my back, and I'm not going to sleep first. Ain't no way. Anyway, that's my number 2, and that's Vanille Havane. I'll put y'all on to that. Let me see where I'm at. I'm at 120, hour 126. I appreciate y'all being here. Listen, man, y'all know I'm a rock. Have a good time, man. And after this, if y'all have questions, because I'm not reading the comments, I'm flipping between just talking to y'all, so I'm not looking at my computer the whole time. I'm kind of trying to look at the camera, as well as trying to switch back and forth between the comments and the banners on this platform. So it's a lot to manage. I'm not really seeing the conversations except for a couple seconds. So if you have questions or you've already asked, re-ask them near the end, and I'll get to them, because I do that for y'all. Coming in at my number 1. My number 1 is one of my favorite houses. It is probably, might be my favorite house. It's the best clone house on the market. Money could buy. My favorite perfumer's in it. So you already know this from the house of Boadicea. This fragrance is just, it took a DNA that's already out there, and it just put it on the next level, in my opinion. This works. After I talked about this fragrance, a lot of people went into my private Facebook group, which link is in the bio. You can join, but you have to be a subscriber to join. But it's zero tolerance there. I will boot you with no explanation. We have fun there. We have good energy. We ain't talking about, we ain't putting a whole bunch of Facebook posts to argue about fragrances. We put up what we wore for today. Every day is like a new fragrance. People learning about new fragrances. It's nothing but love there. If you come in there and try to disrupt it, you are banned. You will never come back. I will boot you in 5 seconds. If you're in the group and you see somebody doing that, report the post. They out of here. Anywho, this is from the house of Boadicea the Victorious, and this is the King. The King. As you can see my dent in it, I've given this some work. What is this? Basically, this is Plum Japonais, but it's powerful, and it's done, bro, tobacco, booze, leather. When I put this in a list, I think I brought this out in a battle. Might be my battle against Cuba. I think I brought this out in my battle against Cuba. A lot of people didn't know about this fragrance. I'm putting a lot of people on the Boadicea fragrances rather to, put people on. A lot of people didn't know. After I did my battle and people joined the group, a lot of people bought this bottle. Ask them, if you own this bottle because you seen me talk about this fragrance, put money in the chat. if this is fire. Just put money in the chat. If you got this because of me, put money in the chat. This thing just, bro, scent trail, it works. Plum Japonais is already a great fragrance. That's, so if you got fragrances like Center Woods, Plum and Cognac, I think that's a good one too. I don't own it, but it's good. I can admit it's good. But this is Plum. Plum has that dark, something about Plum that's boozy within itself. It's dark. It's mysterious. Like, it's some sexy Dracula kind of stuff. When I smell Plum, I'll be like, this is like black leather jacket, sunglasses at night, sexy, buying drinks to people at the bar and not talking to them, kind of stuff. You send a bottle over to somebody, drinks at the bar, and the woman thinks that you're going to go over there and talk to her because you sent her a drink, but you ignore her the whole night. You just send her a drink because you that type of player. Be like, hey, bartender, what's she drinking over there? Yeah, the sexy one right there. What's she drinking? She drinking this? All right, send her like two on me. You send two, bartender go over there. Hey man, the guy over there, he sent you two. You do like this, cheers, you ignore for the rest of the night. Ignore. Don't go over there, don't talk to her, ignore. She gonna try to make eye contact. Nah, Joe, you in your world. Matter of fact, you watching the game. That's what you doing. You watching the game the whole night. Ignore. And then when you leave, go home. She might be a regular. She'll come back. If she come back, she'll reach out, but ignore for the rest of the night after you send the drinks. I don't care how much the drink was. $20. I don't care. Send her 40. Good old 40. And ignore for the rest of the night. Because it's short shit. Listen, it works. Even if you don't, trust me, you're going to be here, you're going to be looking at the bar, you're going to be sitting up there, you're looking at TV, you're looking at the Lakers play. And you're going to catch her staring at you from the eye, and you look for it, you're like, yeah, I'm good. You look good. So I sent you a drink because you look good. I don't need to have a conversation with you. I'm good. I'm cool over here. You might walk past them, and you walk past them smelling this, so your scent trail wafts. It's all good, man. I'm coming back. I'm sitting in my seat. I'm going back to watching the game. It's time for me to get up out of here. All right, y'all. Dap the bartender up because you go to the bar enough so you know him. All right, Roger. It's always a Roger at the bar. All right, Roger, I'm up out of here. See you next time. I'm out. Maybe Roger has your number. Hey, in case she asks, go ahead and give her that. If she don't worry about it. Leave. What we talking about, man? Come back the next week, she might be in there. You know what may happen next week? She don't like how you did that. You know what may happen next week? You be drinking, you got your whiskey. Roger come back. Hey, the lady sent you one. Oh, okay. Appreciate it. Now we can have a conversation. Or not. If the conversation never happens, so what? You find her attractive, she was looking good. You walk by, she was smelling good, send her a drink. It's cool. You got it. Send her one then. But anyway, I'm over here. When somebody said red pill, I'm over here sounding like red pill gang. Let me stop, man. That ain't even my swag, man. I ain't Uncle Kevin. I'm cool. I ain't trying to steal that man's swag. But no, this real spill though. Where something like this, the king, bro, the king, send her a drink. Send her a drink and ignore for the rest of the night. Why? Because you ain't pressed. Why? Because you get women. You've been getting women all your life. It happens. You've seen beautiful women all the time. Being around beautiful women ain't new to you. It shouldn't be. But you admire. Here, have one on me. Peace. I'm going back to watching the game. Anywho, that is my number one fragrance. The King just works. It is sexy. The house of Boadicea is an expensive house. Some of their fragrances cost more than others. It just do. Some of these are expensive. But you can get these for a good price. Why? Because people in my Facebook group know we don't really always pay retail, and I may or may not have a connect in there. I may or may not. I don't know. If you're not in the Facebook group, you don't know. Those who know. If you're not, it is what it is. I don't let anybody in. I don't care. Some people care about numbers. They want 10,000, 20,000 members. I'm cool with the 200 we got. And it can really be 50 and I'll be just as cool. It's never about the numbers for me. It's about family. It's about family and fun and like no drama. If you come there with some of the BS I see in other groups, I'm just going to get you out of there. Get up out of here. Anyway, that's my top 10 sexy tobacco fragrances on the market. To summarize it, we got the King. Amazing. That's a 9 out of 10. It takes over Plum Japanese, so I can't give it a 10 out of 10. I can't call it a masterpiece. Vanille Havane, stunning, 10 out of 10. Coute, at number 3, 10 out of 10. Tobacco Color, man, that's at least a 9 out of 10. It might be a 10 out of 10 because there ain't many fragrances that smell like that. But I'm gonna call that 9 out of 10. Ormond Jane, Mont Tobacco Intensivo at number 5, 10 out of 10. Smoking Hot, 8 out of 10. Maybe 7.5 out of 10. I mean, it's good. It ain't mind blowing, but I like it, and I like it a lot. I like it on level. It ain't blow me away. So I'm gonna give that 7 out of 10. Zaharoff Tobacco, I'm gonna give that. I actually like wearing that. That's an 8 now. Virtus from Navitus or Triumph for Bacchus or Carlisle or whatever, we'll get that about an 8 out of 10. Good. Pavillion Rouge, that's a sleeper, 7.5 out of 10. Fan Your Flames, it's 8 out of 10 for me. And then you got the honorable mentions. So that's my list of my top 10 for 2023. Next year might be a different list. So with that being said, what questions we got? Let's get to it. Let's vibe. Let's have some fun. Let's tell some jokes. What we got? What we talking about here? I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes. So nobody else got any questions. Then we're gonna go ahead. If there's any tobacco fragrances you want me to talk about, any sleepers that I did not mention, any fragrances I was thinking about, that I didn't mention, y'all have any questions on that? What was my number 8? 10, 9, 8. All right, so that was Navitus Virtus. It was from their first line. It was from Steven's line. It's Virtus Virtus from Navitus Parfums. What does it smell like? It smells like, like red tobacco, but I think it's smoother to me. It's just a smoother version of red tobacco, in my humble opinion. But take it or leave it. It's just, to me, it's just smoother to me. Triumph for Bacchus is also smooth, but it's kind of, it goes in that category. I've seen a couple people say Royal Tobacco. Yes. So here's the thing. I've tried Entourage Royal Tobacco in Tyson's Corner. Anybody in my, DMV, DC residents, Virginia, Maryland, Tyson's Corner is, you want to smell something, that's where you go. Tyson's Corner, Virginia. I put my nose on it in one of the little perfume shops down there. It's good. It's good. I just didn't want to pay for it. I think that's the thing. I just didn't want to pay for it. It's like, I just named 10 tobaccos, but I have other tobaccos that I own. Like, I didn't even talk about Herd. This is a good tobacco. Like, Herd could have made this list. It could have made the list. What would I have taken out? Maybe Pavillion Rouge I would have took out from Jovoy. But Herd could have made the list. The beauty I like about Herd is, right, like, it has that osmanthus. This is what makes Herd different from every other tobacco fragrance. Actually, I probably should have put Herd in the list. Herd should probably be in anybody's list. It has that osmanthus. Even clones of Herd don't get it right because they never get the osmanthus. Osmanthus is I believe it's a yellow floral, but it has this peachy apricot kind of feel to it. So it has this fruitiness up top. Now, that could be a hit and miss for some people. I think it adds character to the fragrance because no other vanilla, tobacco, cinnamon fragrance has that. That's what separates Herd from everything else. Herd is the only Parfums de Marly I own. I just don't buy from the house. The house is solid. I'm not knocking the house. They got good fragrance. Percival, Houghton, Leighton. Although I don't like that Vicks Vapor Rub nonsense in the beginning. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of y'all like that fragrance. That annoys me. What else? Percival, all their freshies, like good, solid and you can get these at discounters. So, I mean, it's not a bad house, but Wajon, I mean, it's a good house. I just don't own the house. I'm just buying other things. I don't know. I'm buying bottles of Faith at over $650 a pop. That's what I'm buying. Backup bottles. So, yeah, but it's a solid house. Nothing against the house, nothing personal. I don't got no beef with them. I just don't. Let me see. Let me answer some more questions. Check out Calabra, Parfums, Cuban Tobacco. I'll find a way to get samples. I need to get samples of stuff. I should probably make a list of samples y'all want me to get, and I should just get them and then like do a live on my thoughts on those. Here's the thing, man. Again, I said this in my last video. I never feel a need to buy everything. Just because something smells good, I don't think I need to own it. Then it depends on how much I care about the DNA. So I have really good rose oud fragrances, like top tier, God tier rose oud fragrances. For me to really buy a rose oud, it has to like be on a really, at this point, it really has to be like next level. Because I have like next level rose oud fragrances. And none of those fragrances smell alike. So I'm particular. Tobacco fragrances. I've had these fragrances for a while and I like tobacco fragrances, but most of the time when I'm going somewhere, at least in the last year and a half, 2 years, I reach for the king. I reach for the king. Couté, I don't even reach for as much, but that's only because that's like a 2-spray fragrance. But I got to be real particular when I wear this one. And when I go somewhere, I always want to smell my best when I leave the house. I want to smell my best. I want to smell top tier. I never want to come out my house smelling regular. Some people be like, I'll buy that $20 fragrance from TJ Maxx because I just want to put it on because I don't want to wear my good stuff. No, I always want to wear my good stuff. That's like saying I'm going to go buy some Payless shoes, dress shoes or whatever because I don't want to wear my good shoes. No, whenever I walk out the house, I want to look my best and smell my best for however I feel and what my mood is for the day. So I'm going to wear my good stuff. I've worn a Ventus to the gym. I've worn Montauban to the gym. I want to smell elite every single time I walk out my house. But when I walk out my house, I want to smell tobacco. These are the 3 fragrances I put on. Couté, Vanille Havane, and the King. That's what I reach for all the time. All the time. And if I'm going somewhere where I need beast mode, then I'll put on the original Amber Oud. That's what and for those who didn't see my rant on Amber Oud, if you're new to Fragcom, just don't talk about this fragrance. You don't know. If you ain't been around since 2017, you just don't know the controversy with this fragrance. And that's okay. But this lasts all day, and I'll wear that. That's like 2 sprays of this, bro, you good. But that's generally, in tobacco color, I wear this. Those generally what I reach for. Oh, damn. in this lately. Because I think I got this only like 6-7 months ago. But I've been burning a hole in that. Other than that, that's kind of what I reach for. So, that's my deal. Leather Tobacco is amazing. I have it. I think it's one of the fragrances of the year. Somebody asked about Leather Tobacco. It's one of my fragrances of the year. But I consider that more of a leather fragrance than a tobacco fragrance. So if I was doing a leather list, I would put that on leather. I mean, I could have really messed y'all up and like brought out Tobacco Oud Intense from Tom Ford, but y'all can't get your hands on that, so I didn't want to talk about it. To me, Tobacco Oud Intense is far superior than Tobacco Oud. Superior. Everywhere shape, it has that ambery, that amber absolute from Tom Ford. It has that ambery kind of thing with tobacco. It's just next level. But y'all can't get your hands on that, so I don't really want to talk about that. That's a fragrance I'll pull out in a verse sense. Just punch somebody in the face with. But leather tobacco is amazing. Let me see. Please check out. All right, let me see. What's this question? I'm trying to get some of the questions, and I'm gonna get up out of here. When did your Kilian review? Do you recall smelling tobacco games? If so, did it wow you? Tobacco games. I don't. LaShonda, I don't know what tobacco games is. Is that a new fragrance? I mean, let me go on the internet and see what that is. I never heard of that with tobacco. With Kilian, you have smoking hot, you have smoke for the soul, and you have another honey tobacco that is stunning. I like it, but it's just I don't know if it's bottle worthy. Let me go to the website real quick and see Kilian. I think those are the only three Kilian. I can tell you the fragrance here in a minute, but it's an amazing tobacco. Oh, Back to Black is a good one, but to me, that honey and Back to Back, it smells like baby powder. It goes powdery. I'm not saying it's not sexy, but if I want to go honey to back and that kind of honey where I want to go back to black, I'll just go 1821 man-made. I think it's better. I know Kilian costs more. I think man-made 1821 is better. I would just go that way. Where I'm having a brain fart. I'm trying to think of the name of this fragrance. Give me a second. Somebody thinking about it. I can't think of it. Oh, all right. So they got Light My Fire. I think it's Light My Fire. Let me go to this. I think Light My Fire got like honey and hay. Yes. Light My Fire is stunning. I like Light My Fire. Smoke for the Soul, didn't really do it for me. Light My Fire is good. But I don't know what tobacco games is. I don't know what that is. Sorry. Let me see. Ever try Tours Tobacco Fragrance Sundowner? What happened to the thing? All right. No, I haven't. Sadly is good. Oh, where is Naxos? Already did my. All right, so I knew this would happen. I knew there's always going to be one. There's always going to be one. Where is this and what about this? It's 10 fragrances. Everything can't make the list. Naxos, I own it. I didn't want it on this list. I'm gonna be honest. When I go wear tobacco fragrances, I haven't reached for Naxos in like 2 years. Probably like 2 years. I haven't reached for it in 2 years. Not because it ain't good, but at the same time, I got a bottle of this I've had since like 2018. It's like brand new. It's like, bro, I barely wear this. I probably should sell it. I don't know why. Still smell good. I should probably sell it. Probably sell it and go buy my bottles of Faith. I got pure malt, same kind of, and pure Tonka. Should probably sell them joints. But Naxos, I haven't reached for that in probably 2 years. Why? Because when I want to wear tobacco, I wear this. Or I wear this. Or I wear this. Or I wear this. When I walk out the house, I want to smell my best, and I think those are better. That's why you can't own everything. Because even when you have 1,500 fragrances, you're still going to wear the same 5. So why did you need it? But no, Naxos is good. I probably should make that my scent of the day tomorrow. Or at least next week. But Naxos is good. I didn't want it on this list. That's where it is. Where it is, it's on my shelf. Where it should be. Where I wanted it at. Maybe next year it might make the list. I've been Benjamin, you feel inspired? Yeah, man, stop being out of control. You're just buying stuff to buy stuff. You know when you're out of control, when you have like really top tier fragrances, but yet you keep walking in TJ Maxx looking for something that it's never going to be there. And trying to convince yourself that you should get it. Then you're out of control. Harriet is better than Side Effect. Side Effect is good. I don't own Side Effect because I own Rum Tobacco, which Rum Tobacco could have made this list. Compure Sud Pacific. Rum tobacco. Now that is stunning. I was the first one to talk about that fragrance. I talked about that fragrance. It's sold out in 4 days and you can't find it no more. And it's discontinued. Or you just can't find it on discounters. But to me, that is like a real close to side effect. But if you like boozy fragrances, that's where it is. I could have brought that up there. I forgot I had that over there, actually. I could have made a substitute. Yeah, I could have probably substituted some stuff. What would I have taken out? Jovoy definitely would have came out. I forgot I had that. Damn. All right. What else we have? Tobacco Sapphire. Great question. Tobacco Sapphire. Yes. Let me see. It's one of right here. Nice sample. I had a Tobacco Sapphire. Now, Tobacco Sapphire is good, right? But the problem with Tobacco Sapphire is a couple things. It didn't blow me away. First of all, you know, Tobacco Sapphire is a sapphire collection. So let's just say retail, not what you can get it in my group. Let's just say retail. Retail for any sapphire is like $800. This wasn't $800 to me. Tobacco Sapphire wasn't worth $800 to me. Just wasn't. It's good, yeah, sure. But it did nothing. It didn't knock my socks off. And if I had it, I would just have it because I want it because it's Boadicea and it's sapphire and I don't know, I'm collecting, but I can do something else with that money. And I could have had this for a really good price. That's the thing. I knew a really good price I could have had Tobacco Sapphire. My problem with it is the cumin. The cumin is crazy in this in the opening. It throws me off. So it has this citrus, mandarin, beautiful smell in the opening. Some cinnamons in here. I don't think cinnamon's listed, but Boadicea does cinnamon like no other. In Amethyst, they did a incredible cinnamon. I believe they put cinnamon in the King. But it's a fresh, aromatic, very spicy tobacco, vanillic tobacco. It's very classy, has some mature to it, but that cumin throws me off. I don't like cumin like that. I don't. And it throws me off. And I could have got this for a really good price, bro. Dumb. I could have got it. It wouldn't have hurt me, but it wasn't bottle worthy for me. The more and more I thought about it, if I got to convince myself to buy something, I won't buy it. If I got to convince myself, I won't buy it. We're about to end this in about the next 8 minutes because we're going on 2 hours. But if you got to convince, this the test. You smell it. You put it on skin. You be like, it's okay. That's strike one. Take a mental note of that. Strike one. But that don't mean it ain't going to be good. Then put it on skin. Wear it on skin for about 3 or 4 days. If you don't feel compelled, if you don't say, damn, man, god damn, if you don't keep coming back to it, bro, don't buy it. You forcing yourself to buy it. Whether you're forcing yourself to buy it because of a name or because your favorite reviewer said you should get it. I talk about faith. If you smell faith and you don't say, god dang, Joe, don't get it. It ain't for you. Don't convince yourself to get it. Plus, I don't want you wearing it anyway. That's my fragrance. Don't wear that. But anyway, yeah, Tobacco Sapphire is okay. It ain't for me. I'm underwhelmed. I guess 2 people were talking about, arguing about side effect. Side effect, cool, man. Y'all chill. TJ Maxx frags or for out of the shower. No, out of the shower. Cajal Lamar's for out of the shower. Yo, listen, man. I want to smell elite. I don't. In the beginning, I used to do that. Like, oh, I'm gonna wear Nautica Voyage whenever. I haven't reached for Nautica Voyage. I'm probably gonna give Nautica Voyage to my parents. I mean, my father. I haven't worn that in like 5 years. Great gym scent, but then I'll be like, when I go to the gym, I want to smell elite, so I don't spray it. So I'm probably gonna give that to my father. Say, get some use out of this. Burn it up. Just wear it to wear it. When I get out the shower, I might put I got Boadicea Energizer. That's like $300 or whatever. I'll wear that coming out the shower and go straight to bed in it, rub it all on my sheets and it be gone. I don't care. That's me. But let me see. Somebody put a super chat, so let me make sure I view this comment. EQ, you should check out Tobacco by ATH. We also need top 10 Rose Oud. Rose Oud is my favorite. Rose Oud, I'm saving that for I'm trying to get Eric on. Eric answered my message, but he kind of ain't commit. You know, our communication ain't ongoing. It's kind of like he saw it, he kind of liked it. He didn't really say yay or nay, and Eric's busy. So, because I think he also teaches martial arts. So I'm kind of saving my Rose Ouds, because if I got to battle him, I got to come with, he don't need to know everything I have. Because I'm going to take that battle serious. I'm going to try to take his head off. Listen, man, I'm trying to be undefeated in these streets. But yeah, Rose Ouds, I love Rose Ouds. Ernest Terrence Hughes, I don't own any of his fragrances. I don't know, because I don't know. I don't know. I ain't saying they bad. I ain't saying they good. I don't own them. Never smelt them. Again, I don't know. I just don't go out and try to buy everything. Why? Look what I have. I don't know. Couple people in here. We're gonna end this chat in a minute. Have a smell. I haven't smelled a lot of Navitus fragrances, to be honest. After that first line, I haven't, and that's not a knock on any fragrance or anything there. It's just I haven't. Nope, haven't. I guess I can buy a sample or something, but a sample set, and kind of give an overall review, but I don't know. I haven't. Naxos, you said again, where is Naxos? The king. Naxos ain't the king. Thoughts on Savoir Faire Soul Cafe? Bro, I done like, all right, you might be new to me, so I've done tons of videos on Soul Cafe. I've done 2 reviews on it. I've brought it up in a couple of battles. My thoughts on that have been well documented. And this is my early days. I was raw. Like, go look at that old footage. I was sitting on the couch. Shit was crazy. I was raw with it. I think it's like, actually, Soul Cafe was my first video I ever done. First video ever was Soul Cafe review. I think it's my first impressions, and then I think like a week later I did a review on it. Tobacco Sapphire already answered that question. Yes, the best parts of the king, Plum Japonais, is the king. Yeah. The king is where it is. Shergi is nice. I don't have it. Yeah, I mean, you know, Naxos is good, man. Naxos ain't the best tobacco to me. Royal Tobacco is good. I just don't know why I need it. Bar Dominicano is good. Not better than Side Effect. I might agree with that. Violet Sapphire doesn't fit in today's topic though. Violet Sapphire is one I'm trying to get a sample of. I'm trying to wait for my connect to get that. I want to sample it because I feel like I need to add Violet Sapphire to the collection. I also have Oud Sapphire. Which one is that? I have a couple of, I think one of these is Oud Sapphire and the other one's a Throne. A Throne is basically I think it's a Throne. ENTRHRON is basically like Santal 33 on steroids. I believe that's what that reminded me of. I have to compare the two. And Oud Sapphire is amazing. Now it's amazing. I just don't know if I want to pay Oud Sapphire money when I think one of the best oud fragrances. Well, I'm not going to talk about it because I might have to battle Eric. But Oud Sapphire is, if you like oud that's not earthy and just smooth, Oud Sapphire is clutch, bro. Oud Sapphire is good. I don't know if I need it, but it's good. Oud Sapphire is really good. From Boadicea. All right, answer a few more, and then we're gonna get up out of here. African Rose, listen, Hood Sense talked about African Rose one day. I went in Neiman's, smelt it, and it is amazing. Now, my thing with African Rose is, I think if you want African Rose, but you don't want to per se pay that money, I want to say Kilian's Musk Oud smells really close to it, or African Rose smells like Musk Oud from the House of Kilian. And what makes it that is the cardamom. The cardamom, the rose oud, and musk. Top tier stuff. Yeah, I want to get my nose on jasmine. What do you think about Oud in Alexandria 2 by Xerjoff? I don't have a lot of I got a lot of Xerjoff fragrances, but I don't know. That house, I just kind of moved on. I got a couple of things. Again, I can't own everything. And where I'm living at, they don't have this large Xerjoff collection thing, and I don't want to pay a whole bunch of money just blind buying stuff. Those days are over. Just blind buying stuff to blind buy stuff. Those are over. Okay, people, we're over. We're at the 2-hour mark in some seconds, so we're going to go ahead and end it there. I appreciate y'all for coming out, showing you guys some love. We'll give a round of applause to my brother from Davidsonville Fragrances, Michael, for coming and hanging out. We need to get StreamYard to fix my music so we can get it jamming back in here, because I got some stuff. But with that said, I want to thank y'all all for coming out. I want to thank y'all all for spending time with me. Please hit the like button on your way out of the house. Take some leftovers with you. This is the Thanksgiving Day show, or day after Thanksgiving show. Please take some stuff in and some leftovers. I can't eat all this. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all. If you're not a part of my private Facebook group, by all means, request to join, but answer the questions properly, or I won't invite you in. I do check to see if you're subscribed. If you're not, I'm not letting you in, because there's a certain responsibility there. That's why I just won't let anybody in, because then people start cutting up. And I've seen other groups where people cut up, and I just have zero tolerance for it. So that also have a Joma Shop link, affiliate link. If you're buying anything from Joma Shop, hook a brother up. I like to make some short change on a purchase you was gonna make anyway. I would like to have that. It's a little giving back, give back to the community. Anyway, I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all. Peace. We're gonna end the chat, and until next week, see you later.